in the day, we had no clue. Tomorrow was waiting for me and you. Stories unfold like a time travel view. Then, now, and you. That's the groove. Past is the present in every move. Tune in, listen, it's all brand new. Then, now, and you. That's the groove.
Welcome back to Then, Now, and You. I'm your host, and today we're diving into something a little different. We've talked history, we've talked stress, we've talked about the world falling apart. Fun times, right? But today we're asking what books actually shape how we live. Like, what's worth cracking open in a world full of TikToks and doom scrolling? To help us out, I brought in someone who actually knows what the hell she's talking about. An honest-to-goodness librarian. Please welcome Mrs. Margaret Wilson.
Thank you for having me. And just so your listeners know, yes, librarians still exist. We are not holograms from the past.
Fair point. I feel like people think libraries are just where the printer never works.
Oh, the printers still never work. That part hasn't changed.
Good. Tradition lives on. So we're going through the top 5 books everyone should read. Let's start with the first one. What's your pick?
It has to be To Kill a Mockingbird. Written in 1960, it's this small-town story about childhood, race, justice, and empathy. Everyone remembers Atticus Finch as the moral center, but it's Scout, the child narrator, who makes you see how prejudice is learned and unlearned.
I read this in high school, but honestly, back then I was just trying to avoid the tension. Reading it as an adult, though, hits way harder.
That's exactly it. When you're 15, you're like, oh no, boring courtroom stuff. But when you're 30 or 40, you see that Harper Lee was writing about how courage is often quiet, about how doing the right thing usually doesn't come with applause.
Yeah, nobody's handing out medals for standing up to racism at a PTA meeting. You just get weird looks and maybe an uninvite to the barbecue.
Exactly. And the book still resonates today because prejudice and injustice didn't exactly disappear. It teaches empathy in a way that statistics and think pieces can't.
So this is like the foundation. Book 1, How to Not Be a Jerk to Other Humans. Got it. All right, book 2. I'm guessing it's not Green Eggs and Ham.
Not this time. It's George Orwell's 1984.
Oh, the book that gets name dropped every time someone tweets. This is like 1984 because Starbucks spelled their name wrong.
Yes, exactly. It's become a cultural shorthand, but the actual book is still terrifying. It's about surveillance, propaganda, and how language itself can be weaponized. Orwell was warning us that freedom disappears not just through violence, but through manipulation.
Yeah, like the idea that if you repeat something enough, people stop questioning it. Kind of like how my uncle still swears the McRib is made of real ribs.
Well, Orwell would say that's the least of our worries. The reason it matters today is we are drowning in misinformation. And if you don't think critically, you can become very comfortable in your own little echo chamber.
So book 2, How Not to Get Brainwashed, or at least how to know when you're being played.
The third book I'd say is The Diary of Anne Frank.
Yeah, that one hits different. You're reading the words of a teenager, stuck in hiding, writing about hopes and dreams while the world outside was burning.
It's raw and honest. What makes it so powerful is that Anne wasn't trying to be profound. She was just living, and yet her words carry this wisdom and humanity. It reminds us of resilience, but also the fragility of life.
And she was what, 13? When I was 13, my diary entries were like, today I had pizza. I think Ashley hates me. Meanwhile, Anne Frank is literally redefining the human spirit.
That's the beauty of it. It reminds us how much potential there is in young voices, and it forces readers to reckon with the consequences of hatred and dehumanization.
So this was about remembering what happens if we stop caring, and also like appreciating your life even when it feels small.
Yes, gratitude, perspective, and warning all in one.
All right, shifting gears. We've had novels and diaries, but now we're going big picture, right?
Yes, Harari's Sapiens. It's ambitious, telling the story of humanity from hunter-gatherers all the way to Silicon Valley. It connects dots between biology, culture, and economics in a way most people have never considered.
Yeah, like how gossip may have been our first form of social glue, which explains Twitter, honestly.
Exactly. The book makes you step back and see yourself not just as an individual, but as part of this massive, ongoing experiment called civilization.
And also that we're not as advanced as we like to think. Like, we still fight over territory, just now we use hashtags instead of spears.
Well put. It humbles you and inspires you at the same time. You walk away with this strange mix of awe and concern.
Okay, so book 4, How We Got Here and Why We're Kind of a Mess. All right, Margaret, book 5, drum roll. What's the final pick?
Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning.
Okay, so now we're not just looking at humanity, we're looking at the point of living at all?
Precisely. Frankl was a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist. He wrote about how, even in the worst conditions imaginable, people could endure if they found purpose. It's not about chasing happiness, it's about finding meaning.
That's deep. Meanwhile, I complain if my Wi-Fi takes 10 seconds to load.
Yes, perspective again. But Frankl's point is timeless. Suffering is unavoidable, but how we respond to it is what defines us. For modern readers, it's about resilience, mental health, and purpose in a world that often feels chaotic.
Okay, so book 5 is basically stop whining, find your purpose, and try not to lose your mind. So that's a list: To Kill a Mockingbird, 1984, The Diary of Anne Frank, Sapiens, and Man's Search for Meaning. That's a heavy backpack, Margaret. No beach reads here.
No, but each of them offers something essential: empathy, critical thinking, resilience, perspective, and purpose.
And together, they kind of give you a survival kit for modern life.
I like that, yes. A survival kit made of paper and ink.
Well, thank you for schooling us today. And thanks for reminding me that reading isn't just about getting through 400 pages. It's about reshaping how you see the world.
That's the heart of it. Books change people, and changed people change the world.
Boom! Mic drop. All right, friends, if you enjoyed this, do the YouTube thing, like, comment, and subscribe. There's also a link in the description to all my other podcasts. And maybe, just maybe, close the app for once and go pick up a book. We'll see you next time on Then, Now, and You.